Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two.
All right, you guys, welcome back to Things I Should Have Said. I am your host, Deandra.
I'm your host, Christy.
And today we have a special guest in the building. Let's give it up for Miss Lynn Campbell.
Hello, family. Hello, family.
Coming in all the way from Orlando, Florida. She is a school counselor and the creative director of our show. Her feedback is always helpful and constructive. She is our beloved family member. Let's give it up for Lynn.
Yay.
I'll put in some fake claps. The reason why I chose Auntie Lynn for this is because she is a school counselor. She's been a school counselor for how long, Auntie Lynn?
I've been a school counselor. I think this is my 10th school year as a school counselor.
10
but I've been
years
in education. It is a long time. I've been in education though for 22 years.
Can I ask what grade did you teach and what subject?
I started out, let me give a short story of how I got into education, because I always thought I was going to be a stockbroker or a lawyer or a tennis player, because all three of those make a lot of sense. Never played tennis a day in my life, but I did want to wear the skirt. I had a very
So it's about the fashion.
Yes, I was going to play tennis so that I could wear the tennis skirts.
The way you had that wardrobe together, baby, that makes perfect sense. Let's be clear, because this was fucking dress,
and that's
baby.
from Little Lynn. That's Little Lynn was gonna be a tennis player to wear the skirts.
Yeah,
but then I had my first baby, which is why I'm pretty sure this is why I'm on the show. I had my first baby at 17. Found out I was pregnant when I was 16. So I had a baby, and then about 3-something years later, I was pregnant with another baby.
Okay.
And my who is my daughter, was starting school, and I was very much a helicopter mom. She started Head Start, and I did not want to leave her. Like I became like the room parent. I was literally there every day. I was volunteering until someone at the school was like, "We have a teacher assistant position, you should apply." Well, I was pregnant. After I had my son, I actually did apply. And my daughter's first year of Head Start, I became a teacher assistant. So I started out as a teacher assistant for Head Start, which has a very, very, very special place in my heart. And then I graduated and got my bachelor's degree, and I became a high school social studies teacher. And I was a high school social studies teacher for close to 10 years. And then I got my master's degree in school counseling and stayed in the classroom for probably 7-8 more years. And then I became a high school school counselor, and that's where I am now.
Okay. I never heard that backstory after all the stories.
Me either.
Who knew?
My first time hearing
I'm
it.
full of stories. I am full of stories. It's very weird.
Storyteller, so I'm here for it.
Okay, so I guess we could share how we all came about. She's my auntie-in-law. She's married to my uncle Jack.
In love.
Right.
And yeah, that's basically how we knew each other. I met her when I was about, I want to say, how old was I when I met you?
I've been in the picture for my 16th year.
17 years. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like my 16th year around. So
okay, so I had to be about 11. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Sounds
thinking.
right.
Wow.
And how did y'all, when did y'all first meet? Like what was that?
Me and
what was that
Christy?
like? Yeah. When y'all first met.
Oh, I was so mean to her.
Did y'all like each other?
They were. No, they did not. But you know what? That is the story, Deandra. That is the story of my life. Like, people, I don't give off the love me vibes. I do now because I'm working on it. But usually when people
yeah, but no,
it
it
has
had
a bit of
nothing to do
warming
with
up
you.
to do.
I have to definitely warm up. I am very much selectively social. So
That's understandable.
and it can, And it can be taken as standoffish or unfriendly. But once you get to know me, I say it all the time. I used to say it with my students. Either you really, really love me or you don't.
Can't
Like,
stand
there is no gray. There's no gray with me. Like,
you know how you think you can call your family and complain about things, and you don't know that they're gonna get an attitude too. Like, y'all might be friends again, but I still don't like her. You know, it was kind of like that. But even though y'all was good, you weren't going nowhere, nor was he. And, you know, I'm the only one on the outs with somebody. So, but then I learned and saw you for myself, and I just fell in love. And I'm like, he my brother-in-law. This is my sister.
That's how I became a part of the family.
Right, forever bonded.
But that's not the end of our story.
Right, exactly.
That was the beginning. Alpha, not Omega.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be getting into our subject today. Our topic will be parenting young versus parenting later in life. Okay, so my first question for you, Auntie Lynn, and Mom, feel free to chime in where you feel like you can fit. How did you find out you were pregnant with your firstborn compared to your youngest child?
So I was 16. It was actually like a week after my 17th birthday. Exactly a week after my 17th birthday that I found out I was pregnant. I was sick. It was the summer before my senior year in high school. And I had been sick for like a couple weeks. And my mom was like, enough is enough. Go to the urgent care. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the urgent care. And before she got off the phone, because she was at work, she was like, and tell them to do a pregnancy test. Me, I'm like, a pregnancy test?
Oh, he was trying to act all brand new.
She having a baby like Mary. Oh, I do not need a pregnancy. I remember being so dramatic. I'm not asking her for no pregnancy test. I ain't pregnant. Fast forward, the lady was like, "You're pregnant."
Oh Lord. Oh my God.
Like, and I'm like 3 months. She was like, "Yeah, you're pregnant." And by that time, my mom and her, I think, husband at the time had made it. I sobbed, like not even cried. I was hysterical in them people
not in the doctor's office.
I remember the nurse trying to console me. Girl, I remember her telling me stories about people who made it. She gave me options there. She told me another story about somebody who did make it, all through my crying. Like they literally could not calm me down. So my mom came. The only thing that calmed me down is my mom. They finally let my mom back there, and she was like, "It'll be okay. Whatever happens, we'll get through it, and we'll figure it out." So that's kind of where we were, and she truly left it up to me to figure it out. I think everybody expected me. I was in the top 10% of my graduating class. I had very high SAT scores. It was expected that I was going to college. So it was feeling that too, but ultimately I decided that I was gonna have my baby. I didn't really introduce. I have 3 kids. So I have Shay, who's 26. I have KJ, who's 22, who's my son. And then I have Skylar, who is my husband's little one. She is 8. And so having her was totally different. Like, I was in a marriage. My husband didn't have any children. So we tried. Like, it's so funny because my kids are so spread out. People are always like, she's a oops baby. I'm like, she's definitely not oops.
She's not
worked
for her.
We prayed for her. Like, she was definitely intentional.
Planned.
Yes, very planned. We ended up when we first started, we ended up having 2 losses within a year. So that, along with the fact that I was turning 35, made my pregnancy high risk and geriatric. Right. So we were going to a fertility specialist And on our first visit to the fertility specialist, we found out we were pregnant. So so we ended up not having to go to, we ended up not even having to go through the process. We were pregnant, but because I had the 2 losses within a year, that makes you high risk. They call it something else too. So I still ended up continuing to go to that doctor along with my regular OB-GYN throughout my pregnancy. And there's so many stories I can tell about Miss Skylar and my pregnancy. and it was rough. It was a rough pregnancy. It was a rough delivery.
Really?
But honey, yeah. If she the cord was wrapped around her neck 3 times. During the delivery? She's an angel during the delivery, and I had to have a C-section.
She literally fought to be here.
So my doctor waited good until Richard left, because he knew Richard, and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he said, "Because I'm not." He did, and yes, and I was like, and he said, "Never seen so much water in all my years." And this, he probably said the years, 30 something years. He said, "But the amount of water and fluid that you had saved your life." He said, she's destined to be here, and she has purpose. I don't remember his exact words, but he was like, she is meant to be here because she shouldn't be. Anyone who meets her,
she's probably been here before, honey.
Yes.
She probably was in there like, let me stay on this side because these things around my neck.
Right. She probably maneuver her way. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's my youngest. So that's the story of me finding out and also delivering my youngest.
How did you find out about me, Mom? What was your, how did you figure out you were pregnant?
I don't remember how I knew I was sick.
So you didn't take a test or anything, or go to the hospital?
I did. I took a test 4 months later. I knew I was pregnant. I knew I was pregnant out the gate. Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, I mean, true. You do start growing the bumps, so it ain't come from nowhere.
And I always was really tiny. So when I started getting a stomach, Mama, your grandma, noticed 2 months in. And she was like, "Oh, somebody getting a little belly. You must have been eating a lot." I was like, I just need to do some sit-ups. Yeah,
not sit-ups.
Don't cut it. But after that, I actually hid my pregnancy for 6 months because she didn't know until I told her. I was 6 months by the time I told her. And I probably only told her because your other grandma found out, and she told me, she was like, "Look, you need to tell her because tell I will. It's not something." That's exactly what she said. "If you don't tell her, I will, because it's not something she need to find out in the streets." And Travis already told me you're pregnant.
So what was your plan exactly? Were you gonna just have me and not say anything at all?
Surprise!
Yeah, honey, I didn't really have a plan. I was winging it. This is why you should not be 15 and pregnant. This is one reason why. This is not smart. It was not the thing to do. It was not my finest moment, as you like to say. It was not in the, I did not know. All I knew is I wanted you.
Okay, I was going to say, so Chrissy, you never thought about abortion or anything? You didn't think. Okay.
I didn't want an abortion. Travis wanted me to have one, but that's natural. He was a young boy trying to get into the league, and you ain't planning to be a father. I always wanted you. In my plan, she's gonna love me to pieces. I want my baby because she's gonna love me. So that's selfish. Your grandma was happy, to find out I was pregnant. She was kind of happy I finally told her, because now we can get this child some prenatal care, because you didn't have me until 6 months. So
I made it out all right.
You turned out
so,
okay.
So how was delivery for you? Because you said you did all natural.
Yes, I was all natural, no epidural, none of that. Delivery didn't take long. It couldn't have been more than 3 hours. I know it was 2 and some change. I was, I was 16 at this time, by this time, and I was having contractions, but it was in my behind, and being 15 and pregnant, you don't know that contraction.
Yeah, that it can happen in all different types of ways.
And
pressure.
I'm the complete opposite of Christy. Like how my pregnancy, my labor, and my delivery was simple with Shay. I did have an epidural. It was very simple. I always tell people that Shay was the perfect baby. Like she literally, as an infant, would wake up and lay next to me, woke, and I just look over and she'd be up like, hey, I'm here. Remember me? You changed me, feed me. But she didn't cry. So I think God was like, little baby, this girl, she's 17. She ain't got it all together. Like, work with her. But because my labor and delivery was so easy with her, because she was so easy, I was like, I'm a good mom. Let me go have this next baby. let me go have this next baby right here. I got this. And honey, KJ was like, no, you don't. No.
KJ took you out the game real quick.
That middle child was like, business.
Nah, bro. let me show you what real little children do. So yeah.
For me, you was a lesson learned.
Was I a good baby or was I a crier?
You was a good baby. I was just a bad mom. I wasn't ready. I ain't know. It was thug life. I had no clue on what this was about. Who knew? I guess grown ups. I wasn't there yet. They knew.
Fair point.
No clue.
I mean, the definition of grown up can vary, because I'm technically legally a grown up, but I still don't feel like I got it. I don't think I'm ready to add a person to my situation, but okay, so
nothing is ghetto, as they say. Parenting can be ghetto.
I still got to figure this thing out a little bit. But okay,
and we ain't ready to be no grandma. We
not.
And me and Christy's on the same page. I don't care how young a mom I was. I don't care how young. I don't want to be no young grandma. Now y'all, you and Shay, y'all figure that part out. But I don't want to be no young grandma.
Yeah, y'all still have a lot more years. Y'all still got a long time before y'all become grandmamas. So how was your mental health through each phase of parenthood? Like when you, from Shay to KJ to Skylar?
It's different for each of them. Like with Shay, I only knew what I had seen, and I experienced a lot of childhood trauma, and I was suffering from a lot of brokenness, but didn't know it. So I was parenting from what I seen. I seen people be mean. I seen people sit down, shut up, children not be gotta grown people conversation.
Right.
What you mean? Like that's what I knew. So that's what I did. To address the mental health, I was unstable. My mental health was very unstable for Shay and also for KJ. I do give my future ex-husband, I give him a lot of credit because he did a lot with stabilizing me. He provided
the balance that you need. You need the parent to say it's not that deep. Stop yelling, like it's okay.
It's gonna be okay. Yes.
Right.
But that took years for us. Like in the beginning, I was raw with him too. So I think just basically growing and maturing. Like I had gone through school, got 3 degrees, a whole degree in psychology and mental health. And I was down here mentally unstable, like emotional. That's what I was. Moody. You can very much categorize me as moody. Like I had difficulty regulating my emotions and my mood. So that was the childhood of my earlier two. With my son, I was a little bit more softer. I always say I adhered to that adage that mothers raise their daughters and love their sons.
What is that about? What is that about though?
It means that we teach our daughters. We raise them. We teach them to be women. We teach them to take care of themselves. We teach
to not
them
need anyone, to not have to rely on anyone. Stand on your own 2 feet. be strong.
We teach them, we raise them, we give them lessons.
That's true.
Our sons, we love them. Like I was soft with KJ. I call it KJ.
Mothering. We mother them.
Yes, we mother and nurture, and that I did with him. But it was also with me. It was also a learning that, like you said, everything is not a rah. Everything don't require screaming to the top of your lungs.
Right.
Like everything. So it was a maturing. Now, anyone that knows Skylar, like we don't spank her. She's never been spanked.
Right.
I don't yell at her. Like it's just a totally different parenting. Right. We really around here like roommates. Honey. It'd be some discussions and negotiations around here. But I think when you parent, when you're older and more mature, and I worked on my mental health, I've been in therapy. So it's a focus on her that I didn't have with my older two. Like you said, Christy, it was more of a selfishness with my older two, but it was a selfishness based on survival. Like I was trying to survive. Right. I'm not there anymore. I've been in my career for 22, 23 years.
You're stable.
I'm stable. And so with that stability also comes a mental stability. So Skylar is, I now have the knowledge that I'm raising an adult. Like my objective now is for her to be a functional effective adult. Yes. So I do give her options. I do so, and that bothers people. Like they don't understand it. Like
they don't really. Have you gotten flack from family?
Not that I care. I'm not
Period.
Flack, but I've had people try to step in. I've had
people. Where they at? Look,
I've had people. I have to tell people. But I was like this with my older too. I'm gonna say something that's very controversial. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. It takes a village to raise a child. I just don't, because I know, Christy.
My village the village I was with was preying on my downfall. The village in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
so I get it.
Yes, I am very mother bearish when it comes to my kids. I am their number one advocate. I will go against teachers. I will go against principals. I will go against family members. I used to go against my mama. Like nobody to parent my child. Like if my child doing something at your house, say something to me. If I'm sitting right there and my child doing something that you think is wrong and I've not addressed it, it's not because I don't notice. It's because it don't bother me. Like we don't think the same. So that's my thing. True. Don't parent my child. Like I got her.
Right.
And so those are the type of things that I've had to people be like, don't you see people talking? She's fine. I don't do that. She can't talk because we talking. She fine. So it's that type of thing. But I will put my child's behavior, I will put my child's performance in school, I will put her emotional intelligence, I will put that up against anyone that's out there beating their kids and all that. Right. I will put her up against anyone. She is very, very I don't even like to use well behaved, but she's respectful. She's very respectful. Mm-hmm. She is you're not gonna come here and she running up and down, not gonna listen. Now, she might have a little back and forth for you.
But even if she do, like, but
the sad part is, even when she have a little back and forth, she be right a lot of the time. And I say,
that's the part right there. You have to check yourself. Low key, you be like, hey, yeah.
You know what? You got a point. Fair point, kid. Well played. Go ahead and do what you was doing.
Big facts. Like, okay. True. Yeah. So
but that's a part of you becoming more well-rounded, to be able to acknowledge it. You know what? She's actually right. You know, like most parents don't like to do that, but you, as you grow and evolve, you learn, you understand kids. Sometimes they're right. They have a good point.
Right.
Valid point.
And it's
And
not
to me, that's
disrespectful.
maturity.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It's
So-
not, I think a lot of times, and especially in, I can only speak for the Black community because I'm Black. A lot of times
Right.
in our community, it's people are raising kids, which is why you have a lot of adults walking around that are very childlike. They were not
again.
Yeah, they were
That's
not
a good
given the
point.
no, they were raised to sit down somewhere and be quiet. They was raised to, so a lot of times
To this day, have a hard time speaking up for themselves. Till this
expressing
day.
expressing
Right.
themselves at all, taking care of themselves. Like
Right.
a lot of us are raised to be dependent on people, be dependent on our parents,
Right.
yeah, that's not what I'm raising. And for all three of them, like even when I was younger, I'm gonna raise some kids that's going to college. My first one
Right.
has a college degree. My second one's getting ready to have a college degree. They both went to college with no
Right.
cost to us. This one is probably gonna start a college. This youngest one,
Right. Or run for president. Scholar for president. Period.
yeah.
Right.
So I don't want to take care of nobody. I don't want nobody to have to come back and stay with me. I don't
They
like
need to
them
stand
like
on their
that.
own 2 feet.
Yeah. I don't
That's
like
it.
them.
I
that
think you
much.
like them enough that you know they need to stand on their own feet.
Yeah, I like them enough to go visit them a couple days
Right.
out the year and come back to my house and they be in their house in their
And
space.
to know you got 3 places to land once you get a little older. Because I have a
Yes,
feeling they're not sending you to the nursing home. Do you understand? I'm not going.
Oh
No,
no,
no.
her and auntie coming to stay with me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they
my,
gon-
my children told me they fighting over who's gonna retire me, and I'm here for it.
Baby, that's the
That ain't a bad position to be in, okay?
I
I don't think I have no
waiting.
complaints about that.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm life
waiting.
right there, honey. You
I
did
speak
something
that
right.
success into their life. Yes,
Right.
so,
I know
They
that's
don't
right.
only love you, they like you.
yes. I did pretty good now. I did good.
Must admit, you did.
Okay, so how has you and Shay's relationship changed, like since she's gone into adulthood? Like do you feel like
was the
y'all gotten
transition?
closer?
Was it hard?
Yeah. Was it hard for you to let go?
Yeah. Y'all know I'm talking. They both are doing so well.
Right.
I just began to, I've never been to pat myself on the back like I did so great person. Richard was good at that. Like that, he was very much the pat me and himself on the back. That job well done, but he definitely. So now I look at them and I'm like, girl, you had this. So I joke all the time. Like when it was her birthday, I was like, it's her born day, but it's my birthday. Like I did that.
Right.
She's 26 and she survived me. Like somebody called the executive producer.
Right.
Surviving teen mom. Like she
Somebody
did
get
that.
Lifetime on the phone right now.
Please,
We need to make this special.
surviving Lynn as a mom. She made it.
Right.
Like, she did well. So we have always to say how it's changed, I don't really know. We have always been close. I think I am open with her now. Like the stories of things that I've gone through, I shielded them. Like I literally told her stuff. This trip, I told her stuff that I went through this trip, and she was like, I never knew. Just like y'all was, I never knew that. Yeah, I was in a relationship. I had like women chasing me to fight me, bust out the windows in the car I was in. I had some traumatic stuff that happened in my adulthood, or even since I had her. Like she didn't know things that happened.
Yeah.
Yes, she didn't know things that happened even since she's been here. So I think recently we've always kind of been friends. And I use that lightly because I was definitely an authoritative mom. So I think once she got to college and stuff, we've always been close. Like we just talk on the phone every day. We ain't gonna go without talking close. But
So
now
let me ask
we
you
are,
this: how did y'all manage to keep that closeness?
we definitely gonna have to have her back, because that's a question for her.
This is our segment. Let's talk about it. So for this week, we'll be discussing an interesting clip from NBC, the NBC show This Is Us, that I thought was worth giving commentary on. So I'm gonna roll the clip.
How's it going at the dance studio? I'd love to hear about it.
That's very nice, Tess.
It's unusually nice, Tess. Yeah, work is fine. Busy, finding my way, but, you know, it's good. Thanks for asking. For the very first time ever.
Does anyone want to hear a knock-knock joke?
Okay, what's going on? What? What? You two making eyes at each other. And not the normal lovey-dovey eyes, okay? It's the we're up to something eyes. And Tess is showing unusual interest in things she is off the charts uninterested in. And I ain't heard a knock-knock joke in this house for a clean 7 years, so what's going on? You're tugging your ear. Why's tugging the ear? What's tugging at the ear?
I'm getting a C in algebra.
What? Well, you've been working with the tutor.
It's a tactic. It's all tactics. They're tactics.
Yeah, you're
Spill
right.
it.
Huh.
Now.
Finishing out this school semester next month, and I'm moving to Boston with Malik.
Knock, knock.
So, well, how do you guys feel about it? So for context, guys, all of the viewers watching, Deja and Malik are dating. They are high school students. Deja is adopted by the couple in the clip. And she's
Malik is
around
in college.
Right. He's
Malik
in college
is
now. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still in high school. This is her senior year. And their dynamic is a little bit different because Deja's adopted. She's only been around for maybe 3 or 4 years. So I guess she kind of feels independent, like she wants to go out on her own sooner than what was planned. So how do you guys feel about that? Like
She
if you
don't
were
wanna
in
go
the
off on her
parents'
own.
position.
She wants to go move in with her boyfriend. That's different.
Who has a child? Like, we didn't talk about that either.
Thank you.
So is that the main reservation? Say if, for argument's sake, he didn't have a child. And
No, the main reservation is, and I don't think it's her senior year. I think it's her junior year.
Yes, it's her junior year.
Yeah, it's her junior year.
Mm-hmm.
And
she wants to get her GED or something?
Yes.
No,
that's what she said.
GED?
Mm-hmm. She said that, yeah.
I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah, when the next clip or whatever, when she goes to explain it, and when he comes in her room and she was like, "That's not gonna work for me." I said, "Whoo, I ain't ready. That's Skylar. Not this ain't gonna work for her." But for me in the clip, I think she's young, but when she goes on to explain the life that she's led and what makes her feel like she is ready, I think she makes a strong argument. Beth was telling him, like, we can't do that. We can't just say I think she used the example, like, imagine if someone told you when we were together that you couldn't see me no more.
Right.
Like, how was that gonna work for you?
Was it gonna work? Yeah. That was a good point she made too. Like, that was a really good point, because you never know what you're gonna push her to. Right.
Yes. And sometimes you have to make it relatable to people, to parents, because we forget sometimes that we've been through this stuff. And I've definitely been guilty of that. Like, I forgot I had a first boyfriend and I was in love. And I disobeyed
and this was gonna last
parents
forever, and they don't know what they're talking about, because why can't I be the one that it do last forever with? Like,
yes, because he loves me.
Right.
This is love. It's he really do love me. Just me. Henceforth and forevermore. This is we is in love.
I think that all of us, all of girls, I feel like really it's society's fault, because we are all fed fairy tales, okay? That's the idea. That's what we imagine relationships to be like. So it's kind of like
always and forever.
Go crazy, right? This next segment is called "Show Up for Yourself." So let us know your goals from last week and where you are on them. 1 to 2 goals for the upcoming week. So our guests can go first. What do you have from last week? What was some of your goals that you focused on for the last week, if you don't mind sharing?
I ain't have no.
I'm
just.
What about your 2-day workout?
I ain't even gonna front. That's become more of a routine for me. I guess, honey, I'm goals.
Baby. Yes, come through.
Use that as a clip.
Me.
I'm goals, baby.
I'm goals. I am goals.
I do work out. I work out in the morning. I've since last year I've lost like 30 pounds. So I am learning to toot my own horn because honey, I work for this. Like I
period, as you should.
I spend a lot of time and energy. Up like this. Yes, it's definitely not I woke up like this. I work out. The goal is twice a day. I work out. I have to be to work at 7, so I get up at 5:15 because I work very close. Praise God. But I get up at 5:15 to run for 30 minutes. I run. I do my Bible devotional. I do my squats. I do a little sit-ups. Most days that's the plan. Some days I just run. I have learned that baby steps, small steps, and crawling is all progress. So some days, if I don't feel like doing the 30 minutes, I may just jump on the bike for 12 minutes. Like I try to do something. Yes, to keep my routine so that it's not just a fad, that it's actually my lifestyle. So my lifestyle is working out throughout the week. I don't necessarily do it on the weekend. But at least 5 times a week, I work out in the morning and most evenings.
I'm glad to hear that. I love to see it. We love the Black Girl Magic over here. This is all 3 of us on the screens, Black Girl Magic. So
yes.
Shout out to Auntie Fan for that. So Ma, what about you?
So wait. So my goals this week are to continue to make this thing a lifestyle, to continue to work out twice a week, and to continue to drink my water, because that is a big part of my all-around healthiness.
Okay. Love it.
Ma, what about you? You said that last week your goals were to drink more. No, you already got that down. It was to meditate more. How are you? What is your progress on that?
I didn't do good last week on meditation. I was busy. I kind of, as soon as I get up, my feet hit the floor, my brain is like on 10. Last week was not a good week for meditation for me.
No, Miss Owner, it's okay. Give yourself some grace, business owner. It's okay. In these business owning streets. It really is.
Your brain is always going.
Yeah,
you always have something that needs to be done. Like,
you know what's so crazy?
Stop.
I heard this lady say that you basically give up a 9 to 5 to work 24/7.
Didn't I just tell you that when you were talking last week? I just told her that same thing. Yes,
and it's the truth. It's nonstop. I'm talking about never ending. Like, it's a lot. So for me, meditating is very, very, very important, because it really do help me, and it really kind of get me through the day, and it makes me very calm to where I'm not in a panic, and I'm not, so I really need to. So I do value it enough to schedule it in. Okay, so this is a real goal for me, right? Okay, so we just spoke about being a business owner. I would like to call this other business owner and see if she would like to order products together, because it would make the products much cheaper for the both of us. So my goal is to build up the nerve to do it this week. Just to ask her, hey girl, we get our products from the same place. If we order together, we'll get more for less. Do you want to do this? Like, let's do it together and see what she say. I think so. That's actually a goal for this week.
I think that's a great idea.
The worst she could do is say no. That's not gonna kill you.
True.
Yeah.
It won't, but it might kill my confidence. Who knows? I don't know. The more I'm in this new business, I'm more intimidated. I'll be honest. I'm way more intimidated and feeling like a fish out of water. So,
well, you're definitely in the water. You're in there from the neck up, I'm sure. So I think that's probably just a little imposter syndrome going on there. I don't think that,
yeah, very much so. You belong right where
Very
you are, and you ask the question and they say no, and you continue to ask the question, because the bottom line is that's a great idea. Whether she can see it's a great idea or not, it's a great idea. So if she don't see it, keep asking. Somebody see it.
Somebody will.
Yeah.
Okay.
And shoot, you might run across the person who's trying to find somebody to go in and buy stuff with anyway. You might be like, go into it with the best scenario in your head already. So, you know.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So my goals for last week was to continue on this lifestyle change journey. I didn't do that great this week. I didn't lose that much weight. I think I lost like 2 pounds. That was it. But
that's still good. A loss is a loss.
You didn't gain.
Right. And I'm gonna make my modifications that I went over with my coach for this continuing on to this week, and we're gonna definitely check back in next week to see where I am at that. And that's gonna continue to be one of my goals going forward. My other goal was to set aside some time to meditate. My whole last week was discombobulated. I don't know what was going on with me, but it was just everything was everywhere.
PT was inconsistent. Like you don't do well with the inconsistencies.
Exactly. And now that we've come to an understanding, because I've chatted with the group, everything is probably going to be a little bit better for this week coming up. I'm hopeful. All right. So everyone can shout out their socials. Do you want them to follow you on Instagram or anything?
Do you know your Instagram?
My Instagram is Living Life as Lynn. So yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. I actually have a new venture that's starting. So hopefully by the
plug it in.
Yes, I am starting a social media, Twitter and Instagram, school counselor shenanigans. So it is going to talk about all the funny stuff that I encounter as being a school counselor.
So that means you're gonna be on TikTok, right?
And TikTok, yes, I'm gonna be on TikTok. My account is going to be school counselor shenanigans.
All right, so everybody be on the lookout. Go follow my auntie, blow her up. My socials is at the LaKay across the board on every platform. Okay, so my mom's social media is My Infinity Beauty Bar with 2 B's. And remember to lead this week with love and light, and to have the week that you earned. In closing, I am
all right. We're having the week you earned.
I'm your host,
I am here for it.
I'm a firm believer in it. Okay, not everybody. You gotta.
You don't have the day you deserve.
Period.
Right.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you.
We enjoyed you. Thank you for shining light on a lot of different topics. We definitely.
I think this is going to be a great episode. Yeah, I really appreciate
You're
it.
welcome to come back anytime. You say when.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Right. I am your host, Deandra.
I am your host, Christy.
And this is Things I Should Have Said.
And this is Things I Should Have Said.
No.
We said it.
I wrong. I did it wrong.
No.
Yes, we're supposed to say it together.
That ain't gonna work.
You didn't say it.
We gotta say it together.
She said it 2.5 seconds before you. Like,
okay. Ready?
Be a little bit more cohesive.
And this is things I should have said. Okay, that's good enough.
Butchering it.
Bye, y'all.
You're butchering it.
Just the two of us.